Hey you guys, welcome back to Ramon at Home. I'm so excited you're here today because in today's video, I'm going to share with you 3 fabulous Ralph Lauren inspired Christmas DIYs. Now, last week I shared with you 3 Ralph Lauren inspired Christmas DIYs. And so in this video, we're going to continue with this collection because Ralph Lauren Christmas is trending and it really is one of my favorite themes to decorate for. Before we get started with these DIYs, I want to take a look back at the DIYs on our last Ralph Lauren inspired Christmas video. Let's take a look. And here it is, our beautifully decorated Christmas tree, you guys. How absolutely gorgeous this turned out on the urn. And I want to mention real quick that the only thing you have to do to change the look of your home this holiday season is change a few pillows, add a few florals, and you too can have this gorgeous look. But I just want you to see real quick how stunning this turned out. I'm going to get closer to give you a close-up of these ribbons, the beautiful gold ribbon that just shimmers, all of these beautiful gorgeous picks with the berries, the poinsettias, the types of greenery just add a beautifully whimsical look to this gorgeous Christmas tree. I really hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did putting it together, and I cannot wait to come back with even more ideas for your home this holiday season. I cannot wait. Alright you guys, so here is this cute little arrangement that looks absolutely adorable here on the table. As you guys can see, it goes so well with this beautiful plaids. The red is just absolutely gorgeous and super easy to make. I just want to add the little detail right here of the ribbon. It just creates a beautiful spectacle for the holiday season, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. All right, you guys, so here is this beautiful basket on the front door decorated on the Ralph Lauren inspired theme. I love the wicker texture. I love the beautiful pine cones and the touch of plaid, which really elevates the look. And then also this gorgeous eucalyptus from David Christopher. It really just adds so much to the door because it makes it look so much more taller and beautiful. Also the poinsettias and all of the glitter pine, it really adds this beautiful texture to this door. And I really hope that you enjoyed it and that you took a few tips and tricks on how to decorate your own door this holiday season with the Ralph Lauren theme. I cannot wait to come back with more, so stay tuned. As you guys can see, this theme is traditional, it's natural, and it is absolutely gorgeous. So in this video, I decided that I'm going to give you 3 more Ralph Lauren inspired Christmas in case that you are looking for DIYs to decorate your home this year. Before we get started, I would like it for you guys to like this video and share with your friends on Facebook, on Instagram, and on WhatsApp. Why? Well, because it is free and it really helps this channel. And also want to ask that if you are not subscribed, consider subscribing. Do you guys know that 70% of you watch these videos on a TV, which means you would have to log on to a phone, a computer, a tablet in order to subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate it if you do that for us to help us grow, because you guys just reached 300,000. I cannot believe it. It's been 7 years in the making, and I am so thankful and so grateful for every single like, share, and for you to subscribe. All right, well, we're gonna get started with this beautiful Ralph Lauren inspired Christmas DIYs. Let's take a look. All right, you guys, so to decorate this beautiful Ralph Lauren inspired Christmas wreath, what we're going to do is, first of all, we're gonna use the same elements that we've been using all throughout this collection. Remember, that is the best way to keep your home cohesive. It is by adding the same elements all throughout the home, all the way from the door to the back door, and that's the way I recommend. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start with a loop right here, and I'm going to go in as far as I can on this bristle, and we're gonna create this loop on this side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some little loops, and I'm going to attach to my wreath like this, and I'm gonna go a little bit towards the back. I want to add this ribbon because, well, somebody said to me that Ralph Lauren doesn't have glitter, but once again, I'll remind you that this is just an inspiration, and of course it has to have the Ramon at Home inspiration as well. All right, so for this wreath, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the top of it. I don't want to do all of it because I want the wreath to show. It has lights, and this is perfect perhaps for like an outdoor space, maybe your front gate or your front door. I don't think this for a front door, but like it'd be pretty for a front gate, or even like, you know, I've seen it when they put it on the garage doors. It just creates a beautiful statement. So I'm gonna go over to this side, and I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna go to the top. I'm gonna start right here. Remember that we just want to add a little bit of this ribbon. It's going to pick through and not gonna be anything too extravagant. We're gonna cover some of it with the beautiful picks and stems and ornaments that we're going to add, but I do want this to kind of pick through on my wreath. And it's also gonna give us some girth on the wreath. I'm gonna pull that one a little bit, and it's going to allow us to make the wreath look and seem bigger, because it really is creating this bigger width. All right, so I have these two loops right here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab this other one, but for this one I'm going to leave a tail, and then I'm going to go up, down, and then I'm going to do kind of like a two-loop bow, and I'm going to grab a wire from here, and I want to fill in this space in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it right here, you see, to fill in, and I'm going to let these guys hang down because some other loops will hang down. Now I feel like this one has to be moved. I feel like I put it way too far down, and so I'm gonna go up a little bit on the top bristles. And so now it's going to look more proportionate like that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start adding our ornaments. And so I'm gonna start with some red ornaments right here. And remember to do clusters of 3s, 2s, and 1s. And I'm going to start with all the same ornaments. So remember that what happens on the right happens on the left. And I'm gonna go over to this side. Once again, you guys, we have to be gentle with these ornaments as we add them to our design. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my ornaments over here, and I'm going to continue to add some of these red ornaments. We kind of cluster them together, and the way we do that is by adding one ornament at a time, one color, and that's also going to define how far out we want all of those ornaments to be. We're going to create that line. I think we're going to stop right about here, and so I'm going to switch over to the other side by adding some of these beautiful ornaments over on this side. And at this point, you guys, I want to invite you, so right on Facebook, if you come to Facebook, if you're interested in how to make wreaths, of course we have our masterclass group, and what that is a group where we teach every month. We teach 8 classes. Some of them are live, so we really are creating a beautiful community over there. And so the way that you can come and join us is if you go to Facebook, and if you look for the post that is pinned to the top on our page, you can follow the instructions and you can join us on our masterclass group. Once again, it's a wreath making group, and we're teaching about 8 classes a month. 2 to 3 are live, and we're having a blast over there. It's almost like a party, really, because we have so many people who are in the wreath community and who are interested in learning how to create all of these wreaths. So it's a lot of fun. So I want to invite you, if you are interested in wreath making, be sure to check out the masterclass, Ramon at Home Masterclass, on my Facebook page. All right, so I'm gonna continue adding right here. And you guys, I am so excited to be doing this Ralph Lauren inspired theme, because you know, I always tell Jameson that when we moved to our new home, this is going to be the very first theme that I'll ever do in our new house. Is going to be a very traditional Ralph Lauren, because it's always been my favorite. I think of like the holidays in England. They just look absolutely magical. All right, so now that we have that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some poinsettias. So I'm gonna start attaching some poinsettias right here. We're going to fill in, and this particular one, the short ones, I'm just gonna go ahead and add right here like this. And I'm going to make sure that I go all the way out to like right here. Also, you can grab a bristle and then just spin it around right here. Just attach a little bristle to it. So I'm gonna go over to this side, and I'm going to do a bristle around, and that's going to lock in that poinsettia on top, and it's not going to move. Now we want to really pack it with poinsettias because it's very indicative of traditional design. And if you've ever been to a Ralph Lauren store, you know that they do those big poinsettia bouquets, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. I'm gonna finish right here. Once again, you could glue them if you wanted to, but because this is for outside, I'm not gonna even bother. This is something that I can also tear apart and reuse all of my materials if I ever wanted to. But what I do want is to add a bristle around the neck of my poinsettia, and that's going to lock it in place. And I'm gonna put as many poinsettias as I want. I'm gonna add one right here to the top. You can add them, you know, that's one thing that I explained on the group, that you can always add your poinsettias looking to the left, looking to the right. But I never like to add my poinsettias looking straight at you because I feel like they look like reindeer in the headlights, I'd say. But we're going to add as many of these poinsettias as possible. Look how pretty it's looking, the very top filled in. And I think like we need one over on this side. Remember that what happens on the right happens on the left, so we always have to be moving around our design. I'm gonna attach that right there. And I have one, but I'm gonna leave it because I'm always telling you that I like to save some for the end to fill in, so in case we have to fill in. All right, so our next move is going to be our greeneries. And for that, I've selected some of these beautiful flat cedars. Once again, if you wanted to glue, you could. I think I should glue this, but you know, this is for demonstration purposes. So we're going to be really fast. At this point, if you wanted to, you can just dip it into your glue and go like this. Even if it is for outdoors, I do really recommend to go ahead and glue some of these items down. Now, remember that we always fluff the ribbons at the end. So you have to, as what I tell people in the group, you have to trust the process, that everything is going to come out just fine as we work on our design, but you have to move fast. And I was told at one point in my career that you are as good as you are fast. But at this point, like I'm sure you know, that if I was making this for sale or to keep for someone, for a customer, of course I would glue it, but because we are just basically showing you how to do it, then there really is no need for me to glue, and I'm able to reuse all this material. All right, so now I'm gonna use this gorgeous greenery that I absolutely love. It has a berry, and look how pretty. This is just going to add another texture right here. Jameson, remind me to get more of these. Absolutely. This is so pretty. I'm gonna go right there. And right here, remember to go in and out, in and out. You have to add as many as possible right here to create this texture, this really pretty texture on your design. And I'm going to go over on this side. Maybe, let me see. Sometimes I have to look from the top to see what else do I need. And so I have also this beautiful pick that I am obsessed with, this champagne, and that's gonna give us a lot of texture on our design. So I'm sure you notice that we are using some of the same materials that we used all throughout our theme, and well, I bought them because I love them, and I just absolutely think they're gorgeous. And so you have to go in and out, but remember that what happens on the right happens on the left, so you always have to make sure that you have the same elements all throughout your wreath. Look at that. See how you have the same element and it's looking really, really good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some of this ribbon that we used before, and let's see. I'm going to do some ribbon tails. I'm gonna start right here. I'm gonna grab a wire and I'm going to cut my tail maybe right about here. I want a longer tail and a shorter tail. I feel like that looks the prettiest. So we're going to fluff. And so now I'm gonna start adding all of this beautiful ribbon right here. All right, so I am back and I pre-looped some of these right here. And so what you want to do is you want to go in all in between all of these items right here. And you want to add all of these beautiful loops all throughout your wreath, from the inside, from the outside. So I'm gonna add this right here on the bottom. And so basically you just wanna grab a bristle and twist it in and lock it in, and see, that's going to bring that pattern all throughout your wreath. And once again, I'm going to add this guy right here. And remember to just let them do whatever they want. Don't try to force them too much. I like the end result when it's more natural. So look for a place where you want it and just add your ribbon, but don't try to manipulate the end result too much. I really feel like the more organic it looks, the more beautiful it's going to be. So I'm gonna add one right here to the top. I'm gonna grab a bristle from here to the bottom. And remember to just let them curl any way they want, like that. It is about the texture, as you guys can see. Just give it a little bit of a play with your fingers. And I'm going to add one maybe, I'm going to add one right here under all of this, so that I can have this material going all the way down. And I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to get a few flyaways ready and I'll be right back. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so what I'm going to add is our beautiful frosted berry. And I'm gonna start right here on the top by lifting up some of these items like this. And I'm going to fan them out all throughout the back, like so. And I'm going to just keep adding some of these guys over here to add a lot of texture to this beautiful wreath. So I'm gonna go over to this side, and at this point I like to start from the back because it's going to really finish the outside of our wreath and give it that cohesive look. Look at that. And then what you need to do is come in some spots like right here, and then we're going to add some of this berry and like one right here, like so. Look how pretty this is. And I'm gonna add one from the back right here, like that. And see how that just added a little bit of glitter. And then one of my favorite elements to work with this year, it's this real touch pine that it's so dangly, and I just absolutely love it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of these danglies, and I'm going to be very careful because at this point I feel like it's looking pretty packed. And once again, this is something that will look so beautiful outside on your, perhaps if you have a gate, if you have a, I don't know, some people, I've seen some people put them in their garage doors here in Imperial Beach. It looks so pretty when I see a gorgeous wreath on a garage door. I feel like really, like it makes me feel like people really care. So I'm gonna add that right there. And see how this, because it has a dangle to it, it just makes it look so beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna start right there. All right, you guys, so I'm gonna give this a fluff real quick and I'll be right back with you to show you a close-up. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so here is this beautiful wreath DIY with a Ralph Lauren inspired theme. I love the way this looks. I love the exposed bottom to it because it really shows the lights, and I absolutely love the ribbon combination with the poinsettias, the ornaments, and all of these lush picks of greenery. It just creates a beautiful look. I cannot wait to read your comments, so be sure to leave me a comment down below and let me know what was your thought, or what do you think of this beautiful wreath DIY Ralph Lauren inspired. As you guys can see, this gorgeous Ralph Lauren inspired wreath turned out so beautiful. It was so simple to make, and I know that you can give it a try and you will love the end result. Now, we're gonna get started with a beautiful Ralph Lauren inspired Christmas DIY and a candlestick with a candle and florals, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. Let's take a look. All right, everyone, so for this DIY, what we're going to do is we're going to create a beautiful candlestick centerpiece. And I'm gonna start by adding some foam to my candlestick, and you have to get some of this clear tape. You can find this at any florist supplier. And what I like about this tape is, well, first of all, it's clear, so you really won't be able to see as I go around. And I'm just gonna go around once or twice. Now, the other secret I wanna give you is that when you're working with glass containers like this particular one, what I like to do is tape it clear and then also put a little towel on the bottom so that way you're not knocking and you won't break it. Another tip that I can give you is you can fold this in half so that way when you're looking for your tape end, you won't be able to struggle like I just did because I forgot. All right, so now once we have this right here taped to our container, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring some moss and I'm going to put a whole bunch of moss around it. I'm going to open a little circle because there will be a candle on the middle. So I'm gonna go like this, but I do want to cover it. And then also I want it to look organic, which I mean is that we are going to let it just drape down. There's really no rhyme or reason for this. Some of it's going to be covered, but I do want to be able to contain it like this. And so we're going to use some of the S hooks that we created with a wire. This is an 18 gauge wire, and just like that, we have our prepped container. And so now I'm going to bring it closer so you guys can see the design. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so we're gonna start this beautiful candlestick arrangement by adding our candles to it. So I went ahead and added this beautiful flameless candle. You can find some of these at Amazon, Target, or any other supplier where you can find your candles. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to green this container, and I'm gonna cut some of these really short so that way that we can go into our container like this. Be sure that this foam really does hang on to your greeneries. That way it's not going to come crashing down. Like this particular one right here, I have to cut down because it's not going all the way in. There we go, now we're talking. And so what we're going to do is we're going to give it a little bit of a spin, and we're going to repeat. Remember that what happens on the right happens on the left, and what goes up must come down. So that means that we have to have a 360 view. Now, obviously, these DIYs are inspired by the Ralph Lauren theme that is so popular right now. Leave me a comment down below if you know how Ralph Lauren started. If you want me to give you a breakdown of how the Christmas at Ralph Lauren started. It's so funny that this Christmas is so popular, because I always thought that's like just a traditional Christmas, like in the countryside in England. And to me, Christmas is all about the plaids and the reds and the golds. And I was just so glad to see that some people made it viral this year, because it is so beautiful. To me, that's what Christmas is all about. And like I said, I always try to incorporate it on my designs, whether it's for me or for a customer. Just that Christmas is all about the plaids. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this older pick right here that I have, and this is got a few, so I'm going to cut a few of them like this. We're going to maybe do, let's see, maybe 3 out of 1. And remember to always cut them short. This is really going to help us fill in all of our gaps. This is a little too long, so I'm gonna cut short right here. And I also like that it has that red berry on it, and so it's going to really help us fill in. Like I said, we're gonna use maybe 2, so we're gonna bring another one out and cut it. Thumbs up if you guys are enjoying these DIYs. I'm having so much fun creating all of these beautiful traditional, you guys. I cannot believe this is like the middle of November already. Where did the year go, right? I remember it was just yesterday when me and Jamison were planning this year's holiday season, and so now it's like, where did it go? All right, so now I'm gonna stop right here, and I'm actually going to put my candlestick to the side because I want to do a cute little bow. And so for that, I'm going to bring a wire and also a little stem that I'm going to attach with. And all of my tools are already on the side, but I want something not too big, because obviously this is not a big arrangement. So I'm going to give myself about a 4-inch tail, and then I'm going to do a sweet little loop like this. And then I'm going to bring it up. I'm gonna twist, and then I'm going to do, hang on, do I want a loop or do I? Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do a 1 loop, and I'm gonna give myself a longer tail. That way it's going to look more elegant and not overpower the arrangement. So I like to use my loops, 3 loops, 2 loops, or 1 single loop. But in this case, because it's a smaller arrangement, I'm going to just do 1 single loop. So I'm gonna get a wire right here. I'm going to wire my loop really tightly. That's the secret, to do it really tightly. And then when you have your wire, what you need is a stem, and we can just swirl really tightly like this. Now this is a longer stem, but that's on purpose, because you can always cut them short, but you can never make them longer, right? So I'm gonna cut right here. So I'm gonna put this right here to the side. I'm gonna bring my candlestick back into frame. And so I'm going to add my 1 loop bow right about here. And I'm going to insert into my foam and just push it all the way in. So this touch right here is gonna help us coordinate with the rest of the collection. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab some poinsettias. Once again, these are the same poinsettias that we used all throughout our arrangement. I'm gonna start right here with this one. So I'm gonna put one right there, and then I'm gonna cut another one, but I'm gonna cut it even shorter. So remember that we do sets of 3s, 2s, and 1s. So I'm going to put right here on the back, as you guys can see, one's low, one's high, and I'm gonna bring another one. Now, when you're doing this, remember you have to cut them really short because there's not a lot of space for the foam. So what we need to do is just make sure that we push in really, really tight into our arrangement. And look how beautiful that already looks. Sitting up, this is what gives it the depth and the dimension, as you guys can see. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that my front. Let's see, where do I want the front to be? Yeah, I think this right here is the front. Right here, obviously, because that's where the candle is. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring some longer items like this beautiful David Christopher eucalyptus. And so I want right here to give me height. Look how pretty that is. It's so dainty, it's so beautiful. Now this particular one, I need it but not too short, so I'm gonna make 2 out of them. And what I like about this is because it was a longer stem, but I made it shorter. And here's another tip: if you don't have a stem longer on your beautiful stem, what you need to do is just cut a few of them out like this. They're made out of rubber, and that'll give you an extra stem onto your beautiful arrangement. We're gonna add one right here, and look at that, how graceful that is, right? This one I'm going to break off real quick. And so I'm gonna do another one over on this side, and I'm going to cut this guy in half right here. I'm gonna push all the way down. I'm gonna push it shorter. And so now I'm gonna go over to this side like this, and then I'm gonna rip a few more off on this one, and I'm going to let it go down, as far down as I can, like that. Look how stunning that is. So now what I want is some sparkle on it. So I have this pick that I absolutely love. It's got a lot of glitter. It has some sprays in it. So I'm gonna start cutting short, some short. And so now I'm gonna start filling in all of these voids like this right here in front of this. I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna put 2 in. Remember that what happens on the right happens on the left. And what I love about this spray is because it's really full. It's super affordable. You can find this, I think this is from Walmart if I'm not mistaken. And like I told you guys, having a cohesive look in your home decor is all about using the same materials on all of your projects. And this particular one, your money will really go further because look, you have all of this beautiful material and it's just a few dollars. But the secret here is to break them apart and really fill in this container, and all of this glitter is really going to catch the light and help you have a wonderful, wonderful setup in your home. So I'm gonna add this one right here. Now remember that what goes up must come down. So when the ones that you go down, it's better if you insert at an angle going up like this, so it spills forward. I'll show you one more time what I'm talking about. I'm gonna cut this guy right here. So this one that is pretty full, I'm going to go up right here by my poinsettia. And I think at this point, the foam is getting a little tight. And then of course, I'm going to go down over here by the bow. And look how pretty this is. I think we're gonna stop right here. Just needs a few. I do have these branches that came with one of my, these faux branches that came with one of my picks that I took apart. So I want to add this because it adds like a really pretty natural look to it. And this is helping balance the other side over here. So I'm gonna go right here and I'm going to add another one going down. And you guys will see how that helps balance this arrangement, like so. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, first of all, give my table a little wipe. You know that I like to work on a clean surface. And so now that I've done that, I'm going to add a few ornaments to this in the shape of beautiful pine cones. So I have these pine cones that come with a stem. These also were from another pick that I'm always taking apart and telling you to always have a few pine cones because all of these natural elements really do help. As you guys can see right here, it helps to bring out more of that natural feel to our arrangements. I just dropped an ornament, but no problem. So as you guys can see, it really already comes with this. And so we're going to add one right here, one to the front, one to the back. And to do that triangle, I'm going to bring one over to this side. This one, it's already short, so I think I'm gonna add it right here to the front. I'm gonna open up right here and I'm going to insert like this. Look how pretty this is. I think what this needs is really just a few red ornaments to finish it off. And so I have these ornaments. Once again, this is something that I took apart, and it comes with this wire right here. So basically just twist the wire. That's gonna give you a stem, and these particular stems you can just insert. Look at that, super easy on your arrangement. Aren't these cute? They already come pre-wired, like I said, and they make our job so much easier. And so just go in and out. This foam is super easy to insert, as you guys can see. And I feel like I need one right in here. So I'm going to add maybe this guy. So you twist the wire to create a longer stem. You can even fold it in half if you like, and just twist, twist, twist. That's gonna give you a firmer stem, and then you cut the bottom of it. And so now I feel like this guy could go right in here. But be sure that goes into the foam like so. All right, so now I'm gonna give this a quick fluff. I'm gonna put it on the table and show you the end result. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so here is the end result on this super cute candlestick arrangement. I just absolutely love the way this looks, and I'm going to move it real quick so you can see the little touch of ribbon right here. It really adds a lot to this beautiful Ralph Lauren theme inspired look, and it really ties in with the rest of our decor. I really hope that you found this inspirational and super easy to make. I promise you, if you give it a try, you're going to love it. A candlestick is super easy to make, and it really adds a little touch of holiday to your coffee table. But now I'm going to share with you perhaps my favorite Ralph Lauren inspired DIY from this collection, and it's going to be a gorgeous lantern. Let's watch together. All right, you guys, so for this DIY Ralph Lauren inspired, what I'm going to do is a lantern. Lanterns are also a very indicative Ralph Lauren decorating tool. If you've been to any Ralph Lauren store during the holiday season, you know they like to do their big displays, and sometimes lanterns will do take part of those displays. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach right here to the top, and I'm going to circle some garland, and then also I'm going to kind of flatten it towards the lantern, kind of giving them a little bit of give and play to it, kind of like this, so that way it sits a little bit more flat. And then right here we're going to push forward like this. We're gonna give a fluff to this garland, and this has a lot of pines and other elements on it that I love. Once again, if you guys saw last week's video where we talked about Ralph Lauren style, we know it's all about the greenery, right? So that's why we have to have a mixture of pines and other greeneries to make it more Ralph Lauren inspired. All right, so now that we have our garland, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna give it some treatment of ribbon. And a lot of people said that no glitter on the Ralph Lauren theme, and I agree with you. However, this is also the Ramon at home this is also the Ramon at home inspired. So what we're going to do is we're gonna just give it a little bit of glitter, just a little bit. So we're gonna start with this loop right here, and I'm gonna go right in here. That's just because it's the holidays. I know Mr. Ralph Lauren maybe not do glitter, but here at Ramon at home we do a little glitter to inspire us even further for the holiday season. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some loops like this, and I'm going to go over to this side. We're going to make sure that this is really large and in charge. This could also be really pretty outside. It doesn't have to be an inside lantern. It could be an outside motif for your decor. This would be so pretty on an urn. Can you imagine this on top of an urn? And by the way, we do have a video with 7 urn DIYs, you guys, that you can check out. 7 ways to decorate an urn for your outdoors, and I'm going to link that down below. So if you are looking for ideas on how to decorate your outdoors, then I really do recommend to check out that video. All right, so we're going to do the same thing right here. We're gonna fold it in half. We're gonna give ourselves a loop, and for this particular one, I'm gonna start right about here. There's going to be some elements that's going to cover some of this, but I do wanna see, just like on the tree, I wanna see some of this glitter. Some of it is disappeared, but we do have to keep some glitter for when it catches the light. It'll be absolutely gorgeous. So I'm gonna go right in here, and I'm going to do another loop, just secure with some of my bristles. I'm gonna do one little one right here just to move it to this side. And we're gonna go like this. So now I'm going to go right in here. And it is easier to work with a garland that already has some bristles so that you can attach to, like this particular one right here. So we have 2 loops, and then we have this. And you know, for this side, I'm going to add this little, yeah, I'm gonna add it right here, why not? So I'm gonna add this guy right here, and then we'll have to repeat on the other side. Okay, so I'm gonna get that side ready and I'll be right back with you. Keep watching. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our ornaments, and I'm gonna start right here on the top. Now, you guys know that last week we did this same theme for the Christmas tree. We did a basket for the door instead of a wreath, and then also we did a pretty centerpiece for your cocktail table or anywhere around your home, and you can find those playing right now here on the channel. So all you have to do is go to my YouTube channel and look out the Ralph Lauren inspired Christmas DIYs, and you can find them and continue to be inspired. I'm also gonna put that video down below, so if you want to check out more Ralph Lauren inspired, then you can do that. But for this particular one, I'm going to remind you that we want to decorate all the way around our lantern. This one is going to be sitting outside, so it has to be seen from all throughout. So what I like to do is just spin it around, and remember to add one color at a time. I like to add just one color as I go, because that'll help me to keep it cohesive into my design. So for this particular instance, I'm adding red and gold, and as you guys can see, one color at a time, and then also one texture at a time. And I think I'm going to add this other red one right here. Red one is like the most prominent color on it, so I'm going to start adding some of these beautiful ornaments. And so now we're going to swap to gold, and I'm going to grab some of these gold ornaments and I'm gonna attach right here. I want a lot of these ornaments all throughout my design, so that way I can make it look and feel festive. And don't be afraid to flatten your bows. You can always go in there and fluff them out, as you guys can see. And remember to work one texture at a time, and also don't forget to go all the way to the back. Just grab that wire and attach your ornaments to your garland. This also will be so pretty if you did this garland flat on the table. It'd be so pretty if you put it perhaps around the door, above a mirror, you name it, you can do it. So I'm gonna finish with this particular one right here. And remember that having all of these ornaments pre-wired is really going to help me be faster when it comes down to designing this garland. All right, so I have all the ornaments that I want to add. I'm going to give it a little fluff to my bows to make sure that that's finished. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna get some other elements, and I'll be right back to give you the next step. Keep watching. All right, so the next step is going to be to add the texture to this right here. And the way I'm going to do that is by grabbing some of these picks. You can find this at any really local store, and because it's getting really tight in there, if you had to, you could glue it, but at this point I'm just going to lay them like this, and like I said, this is going to give it a lot of texture. The other thing you can do is grab one of the bristles on the garland and swirl it around, so that way it's going to stay in place. But as we continue to work on this garland, like this particular one, I'm going to do that. As we continue to work on this garland, it's going to get tighter and tighter, and so it's going to be even more, it's going to become easier to add some of those textures, like I said. And don't forget to go all the way back to your design, so that way it's all the way around, as you guys can see. So now I'm going to add yet another one, and that's going to be this pine right here. I'm going to start right here on the top. And once again, this is going to give us a lot of texture on our design. And remember that what happens on the right happens on the left, and you have to know how many of each you have, so that way you can continue to even it out as you go. And as you guys can see, I dropped one. It's okay, no problem. I can go down and get it. Somebody did leave a comment the other day that they said they like the fact that I'm not cutting, you know, when I drop things and I go down and pick them up, and because they say that makes it look real. Well, I drop a lot of things. And you guys, by the way, give it up for Jameson. Yay, come say hi. Come and say hi. We've been working pretty hard to do this DIY, so Jameson's always behind the camera.
Back.
And so what do you have to say today?
Oh, we're still going and going and going. We have a lot more to do. Today's been exciting. This is fun. I'm liking the larger objects. The lantern, it's turning out wonderful. I really enjoy it.
So how was your Vegas trip?
Oh, it was great. Lots of fun. Lots
of fun.
Yes. Lots of. Well, do you want to talk a little bit about it?
Sure.
Okay. So it was a market, and they have a kind of a discount sale, you call it. And there were so many stores that had product. And it was just. It really gets the juices flow when you start to think about possibilities and what you can do with it. It was exciting.
Yeah, it was super exciting. We got a whole bunch of things that we're gonna use this season.
Yes,
all right, you guys, we'll give it up for Jameson, who just came back from Vegas. All right, so now I'm gonna go in with this pick right here. I love this pick. It has some glitter and some beautiful berries on it too. So I'm gonna go right here on this side. And I'm going to add, once again, remember, if you wanted to do this for outside, I do recommend that you glue them together, but because I'm just doing it for the inside and it's at this point it's getting really packed, then there is really no need for me to do that. But I do recommend that if you're going to do this for a customer, the least thing you can do is properly do it by gluing every single bit. Like this particular one is so tight in there, I cannot, there you go. Put it down, and then I'm going to go ahead and add this one right here by adding to my garland, and then this one right here on the front. I'm gonna go like this. Look how pretty. It just adds all the way around. It starts to add a story. So now I have yet another pick that I absolutely love, and that is this cedar. This is giving so much texture to the design, so I'm just gonna go ahead and add some cedar to it, and I'm going to go all the way around. This is going to make that garland look fluffier and just yummier. And my lantern is really rocking because I have it on this Lazy Susan, and it's going every way. Sometimes I'm shaking, it's gonna drop. It's gonna drop, but now it hasn't. I have done this so many times and it never drops, so I'm okay. I'll be okay. Also, if you wanted to really stick in, what you could do is put a pick on your greeneries, and that'll help it stay even further. But look at that, that just thickened it out, and it is looking so beautiful. I'm gonna add one right here, and I'm going to continue to go all the way around just by adding to the garland. It's looking so good, looking so pretty. Okay, now be sure to spin it around. Remember that we also want to finish the other side, so the way we do that is by spinning around. And also this also helps you hide some of those mechanics when it comes down to your design. And I'm going to add this guy right here. I just pulled this one out. You guys see how hard that was to pull out, because I wanted to add this one right here. So now I can add it back in. Look at that. And I'm gonna add this little branch right here. All right, so far that's what it looked like. Look how pretty this is looking. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the poinsettias that is going to really tie all of it in with the tree, with the centerpiece, and with the door. And so I'm gonna start right here on the top. Actually, you know what? Let me get the ribbons ready and I'll be right back with you. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so I have pre-bowed some of this beautiful ribbon that we used on the tree. And so I'm going to go over to this side, and I'm going to attach right here with my wire. And so I'm going to give it a little bit of a fluff, making sure that this goes up and down, so that way we have all of this texture. You can weave it in through your beautiful ornaments and all the things. So I'm going to put one right here. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add single loop bows all throughout my design right here. So I'm gonna grab a bristle and just pull that guy right in, and look how pretty that is. So we're gonna make sure that they just fluff like that. I don't want to be too constructed, because I feel like these organic designs, they need to be more, you need to let them do whatever they want instead of trying to really be too constructing on it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add one more right here to the bottom. And so I'm gonna grab, make sure that I have a bristle that has a good place to attach, and I'm gonna leave that one right there. And see how that ribbon just goes all throughout, and it makes it look so beautiful. So I'm gonna do the other side now. So I'm gonna go right in here, maybe, and attach to one of my good bristles, like this, and fluff. And so now I'm going to bring another one right about here. And look at that. I'm just gonna let those loops do whatever they want. No need to really thin it out. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the poinsettias, and it's going to really make it all cohesive. And be sure that you have them. Remember that we don't want to see every single one facing forward. So we want to make sure that we have some laying down, we have some facing to the left, some to the right, but they all need to be attached to our garland right here. I'm gonna add this guy right here. So now I'm gonna go over to this side, and I'm going to repeat right here. I'm going to add a few more of this, give my ribbons a fluff, and show you the end result. Keep watching. You guys, I forgot to tell you the last step, which is what's going to really bring it to life, which is this beautiful holly that has a gorgeous berry on it. Now this particular one I'm going to add all the way down right here, and this is what's really going to be used as a flyaway. You know that I don't do any designs unless I have some sort of like, oh my gosh, it's becoming really hard to attach to this right here. Oh, there you go, right here. And so I'm going to add this guy right there, and I'm just gonna find for places like maybe right here by my poinsettia. Look how pretty that is. And remember to go in and out, in and out. So I'm gonna add one right here, to the left, to the right. What happens on the right happens on the left. And I'm just gonna add that right there, and look how pretty that made it look. This right here is your money maker, and we're gonna go all the way around the perimeter. This one we're going to go the opposite way right here to kind of encapsulate this right here. Look how pretty that is. And so now I'm going to go over to this side, and I'm gonna start right here, attaching that berry, and then I'm going to go over to the other side. Remember, what happens on the right happens on the left, so we have to do one to the left and one to the right, like so. And we're gonna finish this one right here on the bottom, and I'm going to go up. Sometimes it becomes really hard. Look how pretty this is. So now I'm gonna go all the way around, because remember that we are going to be able to see it all the way around. All right, so now that this is finished, I'm going to give it a flap. I'm gonna put it over there and show you guys what it looks like. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so here is this beautiful lantern decorated for Christmas in the Ralph Lauren inspired. I went ahead and added inside a ring of poinsettias to the candle, as you guys can see, to tie it all in together. And I love the way this looks. It really matches the Christmas tree so beautifully, and is going to give you all of that lush look that you absolutely love. And I cannot wait for you guys to leave a comment so that I know what you think of this beautiful lantern here in the living room. I cannot wait to come back with even more DIYs for you. Stay tuned. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this gorgeous ribbon, and as I mentioned before to you guys, the quality of your ribbon really does make a difference. And the reason why is because it really keeps its shape once you shape it. As you guys can see, if you erect it like that, it'll stay like that. But for this particular bow, I'm gonna go ahead and do a smaller tail. Then I'm going to fold down, and I'm gonna do a smaller bow like this, and this is gonna be our first bow. You have seen this technique already on my rose gold theme. If you want more details, like I said, go check out those Christmas decorating trees. I'm gonna go ahead and put this right here on the top, and what you do is you basically just swirl that wire into some of these bristles, this fine one, and swirl it, and it all stay right there. Now you do have to twist this to the front, and we're just gonna go ahead and leave it there and forget about it for a second. Then we're gonna grab the exact same ribbon that we used in the window treatment, and I'm gonna go ahead and give it a dovetail. And now for this one, I'm gonna do a 3 loop bow, so go under and make it a little bigger and fluffier, twist, go under. And if you guys are bow challenged, I do have a video on how to decorate with bows, 3 different styles of bows. So I'm gonna link that down below. You guys can go check it out. I do warn you, the music is a little loud, and that's because that used to be one of my first videos that I ever made. So I really didn't know what I was doing. I was just playing around. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and stagger this one right here, right on top of it. And just swirl that wire into a bristle, and then you go ahead and fluff your bow. So we're gonna start right here with this. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a big loop, and then let it spill out and go as far in as you can right here. And then you're gonna go ahead and do another one right here. And I'm gonna start moving to my left because this is my front. You have to determine where your front is. That way you can decorate that part. This is only gonna be seen in one side. So I'm really gonna focus right here on the front of the tree because the window goes to basically the backyard here in my house. So there's really no reason to focus on the outside. If it was on the front window in the house, then yes, I would focus to decorate it all the way around. So determine first what's gonna be seen and what's not gonna be seen. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pinch right here. As you guys can see, I came to the end of one bolt, and then I'm gonna go ahead and make it probably a little bit smaller and stay right there, and then just sort of like that. And I'm gonna do one more right here. And I am gonna go ahead and finish this by dovetailing. So then this one right here, the cross this way, I'm gonna pinch right here and I'm gonna meet it with this one. Like this. And as you guys can see, these look like they came out of the same spot. Go ahead and drop that on the floor and finish my tails. Okay, so I have brand new bolts of ribbon because I ran out of ribbon. So I'm gonna dig into my bolts by cutting this little plastic right here. And I'm gonna start with this one. So basically just drop it on the floor. We're gonna do the exact same thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and dovetail, and I'm going to pinch right here. And because I do want a bigger bow, I'm gonna do a 3-loop bow this time, and just basically pinch and then you twist to bring that designer side up. You pinch again. Look how pretty this ribbon is, isn't it gorgeous? I can't wait for you guys to see the end result of this dining room makeover and the rest of the house. I cannot wait for you guys to see. All right, so I'm gonna pinch right here like my life depends on it. Then I'm gonna go ahead and pull as hard as I can, then just twist. And I'm gonna go ahead on this side. I'm gonna start on this side, bringing my pretty side forward. I'm gonna go ahead and put it up here and just swirl this wire up here. How easy is this? And then you fluff your bow, and then you start by doing some loops. Now here's the cool thing about this technique is because you can use more ribbon than you can use ornaments, and it'll save yourself on ornaments. If you just have a good quality ribbon like this, there is no need for a whole bunch of ornaments. Now also, this particular tree is going to go in an urn. That's why I'm not worried about what's happening right here, because I'm gonna put in an urn, so it's gonna sit higher. And by sitting it higher in a taller urn, that you're saving yourself some money on the ornaments, because you don't have to really buy a whole bunch of ornaments, because you're saving basically from here down to decorate, so you can really invest in a beautiful ribbon and beautiful ornaments. All right, so I'm gonna start right there. I'm gonna bring the gold one. How pretty is this? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Now I'm gonna show you in a second another trick. So basically I stop right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna do a bow with this ribbon. I'm gonna fold like this, and then I'm gonna do a 3-loop, smaller loops going under like this, pinching. So basically you're gathering, chung 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 chung, and then you twist the pretty side up with all the glitter. Then you pinch right here, and then you twist. Then you grab your wire, and it's better if you have your wires all pre-cut, and you pull back like this. And look what I'm gonna do. So I have a poof right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this bow right here on the poof by grabbing these wires and going as far in as I can and just twisting so it stays right there. So look, we give ourselves a bow right there. And then what you can do is you can start moving this way now. So you have some movement to this side. And then you grab your bristles and you twist, you fluff, you twist and you fluff. How fun is this? All right, everyone, so now what I'm gonna go ahead and do is add some picks to my tree, and I've selected the exact same long needle pine that I have on the swag on the window, but this in a form of a pick. Now I'm also gonna leave the description and where you can find this, so if you want some of this, they can send it to you. And I'm also gonna use some of this magnolia. And what I like to mention about this magnolia is it's more on a lime green, because as you guys can see, the ribbon has green, but it's more on a lime green, which gives it a more modern twist. So I'm gonna start with the long needle pine, and then we'll do the magnolia. Keep watching. All right, so to add this long needle pine, what you need to do is you really need to fluff it out, give it a little comb to it, and then just go ahead and add it right here, and then grab one of your bristles and just pull it up, and that will keep it in place. I absolutely love the look of this long needle pine because it really does make it look more wispy and natural. It really changes the look of any inexpensive tree, as you guys can see. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this one right here. Then I'm just gonna secure it by adding one of my bristles like that. And look at that, it really does extend the shape of your tree and it gives it another texture, which is what we're looking for. So I'm gonna add one up here and look at that, that will just stay. Now, like I said, because it is sitting higher from the ground, because it's going to be in an urn, you will not need as many ornaments. If you put more texture on your tree, the more texture you put in it with your ribbons and your picks and your stems, then you don't need to buy as many ornaments. Just a few bigger ornaments will really do the trick for this tree. So I'm gonna add one up here or down here, just by adding my, look at that, it'll just stay there. I have a few left, so I have to step back and look and see where I need one. So I'm gonna add one right here. Just grab my stem and pull it up like that. I have one more. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add some magnolia. Like I said, just adding some texture, but don't forget to fluff your magnolia, just every single foliage like this. And once again, I'm gonna give you guys on the description box where I got all of the materials in case you like them and want to order some. Look how pretty that is. That's so beautiful. And you really don't need many of them. As you guys can see, really is filling out. If you just take your time to fluff every single foliage, then you won't need as many as you think you will, and you don't need to spend a lot of money. But the secret is on the fluffing. If you don't fluff and if you put it flat, the flatter you put it, the more you're gonna need. All right, so I decided to do a natural theme here in the dining room because the theme in the living room, it's really wild and really beautiful and festive. So I just decided that for the dining room, I wanted to do something a little bit less exciting and a little bit more traditional. It is still pretty exciting because I'm really having a lot of fun, but I just wanted to show you guys different themes for the holiday season. And I'm having a blast, let me just tell you. All right, I'm gonna add this one right here. I'm gonna add one here on the top. How pretty is this? Oh my goodness, I am in love with this look. I'm gonna go to this side and add one right here. And remember, just grab one of your bristles and just twist it into the stem, fold it into the stem, and look at that. But don't forget to fluff all of these foliages so they really show. So pretty. Okay, I have one more, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and add it over here in the top. Let me fluff it real quick. Then we'll move on to, like I said, just a few ornaments, and that will finish our look for this tree. I'm gonna add it right here, like that. This could actually stay like this. You don't need anything else at this point. However, I do have a few of these larger statement piece ornaments. These are shatterproof ornaments. And if you guys have been following the channel, you know that I like to add sets of 2s, 3s, and 1s. So when you buy for your ornaments, don't buy a whole bunch of it. I'd rather you invest in a few because look, I just put one right here and I'm gonna put one right here. And those two just by themselves already make a statement, right? And then I have this one right here, and sorry if I disappeared, and also went ahead and pre-wire them. So I did one right here, one right here. So I'm gonna move to this right here. And like I said, just a few. I only have a few of them, of each. I'm gonna move to this side. What happens on the left happens on the right. So I won't put one on my left. I'm gonna add this one right here on my right, like that. And I have a few of these really basic red ones. Don't forget to add something right here on the bottom because our tree is going to be standing up. So I'm gonna add a red one right there. Then I'm gonna move on and add a lime green one right here. So that's 2. I'm gonna add a red one. Let me see. I don't know how close I am, but I have to stand back and kind of check out what I'm doing. If I put it right here, it's already too close to it. I also love the shape of this ornament, how fun. It really catches the light. I know our friend Rebecca Robertson would probably put it on a spinner. So I'm gonna add this right here. Just twist that wire. All right, you guys, so the last thing I'm gonna add to this Christmas tree, this beautiful garland of ornaments, because it really does bring out the lime green on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead through here. and then I'm just gonna let it hang like this, and I'm gonna swag it. Sorry if I give you my back, like this. And as you guys can see, it's only gonna take a few of them, and I'm just gonna let it hang. So grab one of your bristles and fold it up so it stays. And look how fun. Don't forget to fluff all of your ribbons like this. I have one more that I'm going to add. So I'm gonna add it from this side, and it's okay if you let this hang like this. So I'm gonna let it hang so you can actually see the ornaments. In here, I'm gonna grab this bristle and just flip it up a little bit. It'll stay right there, and look how fun this is. How cute. And this can just rest right here on our magnolia pick. Now I do have to take that tag off or it's going to bother me. All right, so this is the end result. I'm gonna put it on the urn. I'm gonna put it in front of the window, and I will show you guys what this looks like all put together. Keep watching. All right, you guys, well, that's all I have for today, and I really hope that you enjoyed all of these beautiful Ralph Lauren inspired DIYs for Christmas. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and share with your friends on Facebook, on Instagram, and on WhatsApp. Why? Well, because it is free and it really helps the channel. Don't forget that I'm going to leave the last video with the Ralph Lauren Christmas DIYs linked down below, and then also right here on this card. Thank you guys so much for watching. Consider subscribing, and as always, you can watch more videos right now. Until next time, bye.